Well, I tell you what, it's going to be one of those very interesting Sundays. We
Uh-huh.
have them from time to time, and we're going to have to go to Plan B. We always say we have a Plan B, and we always need to have a Plan B. And I think everybody should have a Plan B, no matter what you're doing, uh, no matter what segment of life you are in. B
Yep.
plans are always good. They are always good. And tonight we had that. We had a guest plan for tonight, and well, it looks like she wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
So we
And
have
that
the
happens.
audience coming in, and we know that they're going to come in because they always do. And we're going to have something great and grand and wonderful and amazing to talk to them about. And we are going to do exactly that. One thing, if you ever listen to Authors Up, one thing that everybody knows is the fact
Excuse me.
that we don't have a problem talking to each other. So
No,
if
we
we
don't.
don't have a guest to talk to, we we certainly know how to talk to each other. And you know what? Maybe we have somebody out there who will come in or come online and chime in and tell us what they would like for us to talk about.
How
Oh
May
about
not
that?
yeah,
be
no, we would
something
love
that we can do
suggestions.
this evening, but it would be something that we could do in the future. So I think we need to really kind of pay attention to that and see what would happen. See just what would happen. So
Well,
I
That
think
sounds
we're
good.
going to go ahead and get started with our opening, and we're still going to talk about the weekend review for a little bit. But I think after we finish doing that, we'll talk about what we're doing now.
Sounds good.
how about that?
Sounds good to me too. So, Noel, if you can take us out and then bring us back in. Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Authors Up. And I'm
Yep.
here with my co hosts tonight, Ms. Ruth Griffin and Victoria Henderson. Good evening, ladies. How are you? How are you? How are you?
Doing fine.
Doing
Hello.
well. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I had a good day today. I left early this morning for church and got back just before the show started. So I was gone. Wasn't at church that whole time. It's
Okay, I was gonna
wasn't
say.
the whole time.
So you
But
didn't get a nap today, huh? No
no
nap.
nap. No nap. I hate it when I don't get that church nap in. But it was still a good day. And I'm still glad to be here tonight and to see just what's going on. Hey, there's Miss Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you this evening. I spent some of my day with Lynn today. So I was glad to do that. Happy to do that. Always good to be with family. And
Good.
we are winging it tonight, but
Yep.
sometimes we have our most fun shows when we're winging it. So
All
we're
right
going
with me.
to, I see that Victoria's already put up that we want to hear the suggestions of topics from our viewers, and
Look
that
at
will
me.
help us out a lot when we get to these places where we have to shift to plan B. But we're going to stay with our plan A right now, and we're going to talk about the week in review as we usually do. And after that, we're going to start talking about what we're doing right now, what we're
Yes.
doing now. So, for my weekend review, it was busy.
Okay.
Okay.
It was busy. It was a busy week. But you know what? I still haven't done the thing that I was supposed to do last week, and I intend to do it tomorrow. Put my Christmas tree down.
Okay. All right.
I would say that I'm ashamed to admit that it's still up, but I'm not.
No, I mean, if it's still up in March, we might
No,
need.
not in March. It won't be up in March. It will come down before the end of the month. I'm one
Okay.
of those people that, well, first of all, I put it up early so we can champion that because I
Okay.
usually don't put it up until like Christmas Eve. But I put it up
What's the
early
point?
this year. And then
Well, that's why.
I decided that I would leave it up till after my birthday, which I always do.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
usually bring it down like that day. It doesn't stretch like it has stretched this year. So I did take all the ornaments off. I got all of that boxed up. So it's really just the tree. I just need to put the tree somewhere. And
Who cares? If you were
Process.
enjoying the lights, who cares?
I care.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, somebody actually might come and visit me. And then they're gonna wonder why you had a tree sitting in the corner like that. You know,
Okay.
that could give cause for concern.
Well, no. So one of our offices, they have a wrought iron tree, and they decorate it for each season.
Oh.
I've
Okay.
heard people do that,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I don't plan to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You don't want a tree with July 4th stars and stripes and
No,
flags?
that's not happening.
Oh, okay. All right then. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's going back in the basement. That's where it's
Oh, okay.
I'm not that creative, and I don't care nearly that much to decorate the fence.
That's too much work.
Yeah. I
Yeah, once a year is
I
fine.
know.
it is. But I'm really because there's been a lot of loss recently. One thing I did do last week was I had a meeting with my family and talked about things that we want to have happen in case anything happens to us.
Right.
So it was good to at least begin that process.
Right.
Yeah.
And the second part of that is I am entering into the great throwaway.
Oh,
Not the great giveaway, the great throwaway.
Throwaway. I love that
Throwaway.
term, the great throwaway.
Great
I love
throwaway.
it.
My grandson, if anybody ever wants to clean out anything, he is the person to call because he doesn't let you look at anything. You know how you look at something and say, "Oh, I might use."
Right. Yeah.
yeah, no.
You pick it up and he goes, "When's the last time you saw that?"
That's Benea. That is my Naya.
And if you can't come up with a good, viable response,
Gotta go.
it's gone. It is gone. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. I have things from 10, 12 years ago. And I guess what made me think about it is when my mom moved here years ago, before she passed, we had all of the family come over because she wanted to give people, different things. And I thought, it's amazing the things that we treasure,
Yeah.
that people come behind us and toss.
Right.
And I had to ask myself, is this going to be of value to anyone else?
Uh-huh.
And if it's not, then I've been letting it go. I got myself a little shredder, and that's what I was working on. So
Okay.
it's gonna take me a minute, but it's gonna get up out of here.
That's good. That is healthy clutter, which I need to do that myself.
Yep.
That makes me wonder about the stuff that I now hold
Yeah.
there.
It's a lot.
Yeah, my kids are not gonna care one bit about my paparazzi jewelry, so I might as well bequeath that to somebody.
Yes. And you can, and it will go to good use. Trust me. Trust and believe. I'm looking at things that I gathered from jobs that
Right.
that are no longer even in business, and why am I keeping this stuff? So it was very, what do I want to say? Healthy.
Yes.
Go through some of the stuff and to look at where I'd come, how far
Right.
I'd come.
Right.
And
Right.
now that I'm here, I can just tear it up and move on to something else.
Lori said, throw it away.
I'm sorry, I am trying. Let me tell you, I am trying. Hi, Kayana, how are you this evening? Thank you, baby, for coming on. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And let's see, Ruth, what about you? Whoa, Ruth always has some really interesting news.
Ooh, let me get my drink on this one.
All right. So you remember a couple of weeks ago where I said my daughter got proposed to?
Yes.
She decided she got married yesterday. So yay. It was one of those, she asked us a question, about family health history, and I thought, okay, well, maybe she's looking into it. And then she's like, oh, by the way, we eloped. We're legally married. I'm like, and this is my not impulsive daughter. So 3 weeks, I think, after proposal. And you know what? I really think it's a reflection of this generation, and I'm not hating on that at all. When I got married, it was, I think we wanted to do it immediately. But the pastor who was going to marry us was like, well, if you want me to do it, you have to go through premarital counseling. And I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't regret that. So I had to wait about 12 weeks.
Okay.
But, I think 3 weeks is a little close.
A little tight. A little tight.
All I'm going to say is, congratulations, baby.
Yeah, so
it would have been me.
So I had to call my other daughter, let her know, and she was like, see, didn't I tell you she was going to do that? And then my son, when I told him today, he was like, oh, okay. No one was really surprised.
No one was surprised. Okay.
No one was really surprised. So,
welcome
I have
to the family. What's his name?
Jonathan.
Welcome to the family, Jonathan.
Yes. These are your new keys in case you're watching.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are I could count all your words on probably 2 hands.
I had nothing. I was
Oh, wow.
a little surprised at that one. He just asked her to marry him, and she just showed the picture of the ring. And how do you tell your mother, by the way? That's what got me. How do you tell your mama, by the way?
Via text. Via text.
I'm sorry.
It just gets gooder and gooder and gooder.
These cheering.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
We get this up. She's going to be cussing in a minute.
Oh boy, I tell you.
I'm just going to say congratulations and welcome to the family, Jonathan.
She's happy. Jonathan's happy.
Yes.
They got good careers. They're good people.
Yeah.
She's married now.
Well.
She's married.
She's married now. The baby. That's the baby.
That's the baby.
All right, Victoria.
That's the baby.
Get over it.
I don't think she can breathe.
The baby done got married. I think that's it too. She's the youngest one. She's so cute. The baby got married. The little baby.
You'll be okay, Victoria.
I'll be all right. Okay.
Trump, yeah. I promise you.
Yep.
I think if mom can get through it, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. I tell you, I've been laughing probably for the last 24 hours.
Really?
What else am I gonna do? I am happy. I really am. I really am. It was just one of those things where you're just like, okay, she told me via text that she just got married at the courthouse. Cool.
And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So
This is gonna be a story I tell often.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna pass it down when they have kids. Let me tell you what your mom did.
Well, Victoria,
Yes.
Uh,
think you can pull yourself together and talk about your weekend review? Were you finished, Bruce? I don't mean to cut you
Oh
off.
no, I got no
Okay.
more. I
Okay.
got no
I
more.
really got nothing that can top that, but
Not a competition.
all I'm gonna
Thank
say
goodness.
is I didn't have the greatest week, and I know we try to put the best foot forward, but life be life, right? And so you got to be truthful. And this past week was a little difficult with my job situation, and they working out. They cut our pay and cut our years experience, so it's some fighting going on behind the scenes. But what I'm gonna tell you is this: that through it all, God has given me great peace.
Mhm.
I was able to articulate a probably 2-page letter to the board and whoever else I had to say it. And I was very professional and just said my piece. And once I hit that send button, it's in God's hands. I'm going to let God fight this battle, but I felt I had to give it a voice because there are people who are very much less fortunate than myself. We're talking about, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, people who don't have an advocate. So I felt I had to say something,
Mhm.
to advocate for the injustice of it all. And so, sometimes God calls us to be these fighters sometimes, yes, we're going to let God have the battle, but I had to give it a voice.
Mhm.
And so once I did that, I feel a lot better. And whatever happens, I have been able to really say, and with some peace, that God is my source. My job and anything else that comes in or happens is the resource.
Yeah.
So, and I also recognize that there are people who may be watching my response. I'm not going to be cussing and fussing and calling the news and no, that's not what we do. And I also have to be an encouragement for those who come to me, and there have been several who come to me about how upset they are. And so
Yeah.
I've been able to be a comforting source. And I just thank God for that, to be able to keep peace in the midst of the storm. And I now understand more fully about that peace that passes all understanding, because I don't understand why I'm so peaceful. But I know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. And it's just God. It's just God, because I have to stay calm. I have to keep my blood pressure down. It is well. It is well. And I mean it sincerely. I don't mean it just to say it. I really mean it. And I'm peaceful. God is going to get the glory some kind of way out of this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they did have this on the news, didn't they?
Oh, it's all on the
Yes.
news. It ain't over yet.
Oh yes. It's
Woo.
growing. I mean, it's no
Really?
longer just they messed up. It's they keep messing up. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah.
It is
So
big. It is
Wow.
yeah.
big.
Wow.
You had bus drivers, and about 60 bus drivers didn't come to work for the past couple of days. So problems getting kids to school. Custodians didn't come, so some of the buildings weren't cleaned up. Cafeteria workers didn't come. You had principals and assistant principals in the kitchen fixing lunch. It's a lot. It's a lot. And this coming week is going to be a board meeting and some other sit-ins and sit-outs. So it's a lot. But hey, and it's just January, y'all. It's just January.
And it's not over.
Look, you know what? And it's funny because my husband yesterday, after we were, my daughter was texting both of us. So after we got off with her, he was texting me because he's in Michigan visiting his dad.
Okay.
He just sent me a text. He's like, "Let's just start this year over." He's like, "Let's do a redo. Just start it over and see where we
I'm
go
with
from
him.
there."
I'm
Yeah.
with him. I'm with him on that.
When you start accumulating everything that's been going on, it's just like,
And it's
wow,
just the 21st. We talking about from January 1st to the 21st.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
It's a lot. But God, yes, sis, but God. And I'm telling you, I fully understand that peace that passes all understanding. You hear those words when you're coming up. And they were just words I heard as a child. But now I understand there is such a thing that I'm so peaceful. I don't understand how I could be peaceful. And so that is the peace that passes all understanding. And it's only coming from God.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So true, so true. And so grateful. I'm grateful that we really can find peace in the midst of the storm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're going to come.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about this just being the 21st of January, but it's not like they stopped here. It's not like we said, oh, okay, we're at the end of the month. We don't have to be concerned about this anymore. No,
Right.
you wake up, yes, that some winds are going to be blowing in your direction. That is life. That is the way that life is. But the good news that we have is that we serve a good God.
Amen. And
And
he's good despite
God
all this is going on.
You know what, though? I was reminded years ago we had, it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago now, we were in the process of fixing up the house and we were like, okay, we need a new roof. Because we had some leaks in areas and I believe we did. But then we were hit with a hailstorm and my daughter, the baby, came home from school and she sent us a video. It was pot marks all over the side of the house and
Oh,
some of the
wow.
front. I mean, that's how big and how hard the hail was.
Right.
And when the insurance adjuster came out, he said, "Oh, we'll cover all that and a new roof." And I had to realize, you know what? Sometimes you have to go through the storm, but once you get on the other side
You
of it,
see why it had to
yeah,
be that way.
yeah.
Amen. What a
No,
good reminder.
nothing out of pocket.
You
I
know,
don't believe if it was out of pocket, it was like minimal. So it certainly wasn't the cost of a new roof. It
Oh,
was all
that's
covered in that, but we had
that's
to
a
go through the
wonderful
storm first.
testimony.
you want us to do the offering now?
Right?
You want us to wait near the end of the show?
What's your cash app, Rue? What's your cash app, girl?
Don't tempt me.
I'm telling you, that is a
Powerful.
powerful word, and we can't really take that. We can't take it for granted.
Right.
That, and I always think about it in terms of the fact that we put God in a box so often.
Yeah.
And we don't really realize it. But when we're busy figuring it out and we're busy putting our plan in place or saying, this is what I'd like to do in order to get that roof fixed, that we're limiting God into what he wants to do and the plan he has for getting it done.
Right.
So he fixed it for you. He managed. Yeah, you had some other issues there, but he took care of those too in the process.
Exceedingly, abundantly, what? Above all that you even thought about.
Yeah, all you can ask for, think. So he's a good God that way.
Amen. And you know me, my songs, all I kept thinking was while we were talking was, though the storms keep on raging in my life, and sometimes it's hard to tell the night from day, but my soul has been anchored in the Lord. That's where I rest tonight.
That's my rocking song.
Yes.
You hear it going around in my head now.
The storms keep on changing my life. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, we're halfway through our program. We don't have any problem talking. I'm so happy.
No, we don't.
But we're going to very quickly talk about. Hey, Leah, good to have you on tonight. We're going to talk about what we're doing.
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
Yeah.
Because I heard I've been hearing ever since the end of the year, new and next. That's what I've been hearing, new and next. And right after that, I always hear all things new. All things new. So I know that some things are going to be coming. We're going to do some things differently this year. Some doors are going to be opened this year.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria, you are working diligently on a project that we're actually both a part of. Yes. But I know that that's part of the new for you. Ruth, I feel like at some point in time you said something about the direction with your publishing company, something else you were going to do.
Yes.
And if that's just kind of in my head, then
No, it's not in your head.
correct me. Say, I don't know what you're talking about. But I thought you were going to do something there. So let's talk about those two things. Let's talk about those two things.
Okay.
Go first.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
look like you want to start.
I am, and you have to pay attention to the journey you're on because it leads you in the direction that you're going, but only if you're paying attention, because years and years and years ago, and I've always been a reader. I've always paid attention to books, and I've always been curious about them. And many years ago, I found out I don't read a whole lot of the classics, but I love adventure stories. So like Jules Verne, Edgar Rice Burroughs, all of those, Tarzan, and John Carter of Mars. Found out that those were serialized books, that they were published a chapter at a time. And I thought, oh, that's a neat concept.
For real.
War and Peace, Anna never say that. Leo Tolstoy's books, a lot of them, Sherlock Holmes, a lot of them were serialized. You could find them in magazines or pamphlets, and they would be released a chapter at a time.
Wow.
So I was, kept that in the back of my head because I was thought, okay, that's a really cool concept. So about a year and a half ago, I started reading, I shared it with you guys, a Korean novel.
Yeah.
That had been serialized. Now she ended up putting out 450 chapters over a course of 5 years. And yeah. And she had to take a break in between because she had COVID. And it hit her really hard, and then it hurt her family. But she started off with just a Korean fan base, and now it's worldwide because of the length, the book being put out there. So I don't sit there and just read the book. I start looking into the publishing part of it, and I thought, you know what, this is the direction that I want to take because it puts more emphasis on the life of the story instead of the life of the book.
Gotcha.
You can have the book because her story is now being published in books, in hard copies, but she had people who were like literally glued to their phones and their computers every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday because that's when she would release a chapter, or her publisher would release a chapter. So, for what NaNoWriMo, or what I did last, I prepared my own story for my practice. So I've been releasing the story 1 week at a time and just learning from that so that I can now start utilizing how do I do that going forth with my publishing company. So we're going to look into that. I'm on chapter 13 out of 57 planned. So it's going to take me the rest of this year to do that. But each week it's something new. Each week, okay, I'm interacting with my readers. I know who they are. So it's like, I don't even have to wait and say, okay, if you read my book, go ahead and leave us. No, every week they've got a comment about, what I've written. So you get that instant feedback, and you find out, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to focus. Oh, I could do this better, and just paying attention to all that. So it's been an amazing journey, and that's the direction that I'm going in. And I'm trying to think, how do I do this and how do I incorporate it for my authors?
Wow. I love that. The interaction is priceless.
It is. And you don't get that when you have, okay, here's my book. It's good to hear from them, but there's more life to it. And I think this is the way to go.
How do people become a part of that?
What's that?
How do people become a part of that reading group? Or,
it's part of the website that I'm on. So it is a fan fiction story that I'm writing. So it's people who are already familiar, who are on this website, and anybody can access it. You just need an account to comment on it. So it's anybody, if they're familiar with the story itself, it helps. So I already have like a fan or a readership that I'm pulling from.
Mhm.
Because they're interested in the story already.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
interested in the story already. So it's just, and as a publisher, that'll be part of what I'm learning is, okay, how do I build that for my authors? Because,
Mhm.
say if we did that with your books, what am I offering you as opposed to, I'm giving you an audience,
Mhm.
basically. So
Mhm.
that's, part of what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Okay.
That is cool.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that is
I think so.
exciting for
It
you.
is.
It
Yeah,
is.
I can see it on your
Yes.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been, like I said, it's been a journey, and it's been the one thing, because when started my publishing company, I told God, I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to
Mhm.
do what's been done. I want to do something different.
Right.
And I think this is it.
Well, wouldn't that be something? If both of our books, we released a chapter at a time.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That's
So,
that is good.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
Victoria, what about you?
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot going on, and I have to learn some balance here because I'm juggling, and it's not going. I have my work, and then I have my jewelry business. I'm paparazzi consultant, and I have to start thinking of some things outside the box of how to get this jewelry sold because I have a lot of it, and uh, jewelry just here packaged behind me, not being shown, it's not going to get sold. And so, someone gave me some ideas today that I'm going to incorporate this week of how to um, do it a little differently because I got to think outside the box for it. And in the midst of all of this, I am in a group, and we are walking through the book, A Purpose Driven Life,
Mhm.
and by Rick Warren. And I am enjoying that immensely. You would think that, I got all these things going on. I got my show, I'm working, got the paparazzi, all this. Why would I need to discover my purpose? I don't know. But I just know something about it when I read the invitation. Sparked an interest in me, being, recently divorced and just really getting back to who I I am. Just getting back to me again. It seemed like a really good time to do this purpose driven life journey, and it's been eye opening already. So we're gonna walk through that, and we're meeting on Saturday mornings, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. Well, some of the things I've already discovered about myself, and I'm doing it with the other women, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm enjoying that. Let's see what else I got going on. Living life victoriously. Will now begin to have guests. I have booked my first guest, and that guest is coming in February. But that may not be the first guest, but that's the time they booked. So it's
Mhm.
open now to got the little Calendly um, all set up. My friend Leah helped walk me through what to do with that, and it's just exciting to have walked through the process, have somebody actually booked, so it's working. So that I got that, and it's just a lot of good things happening in the midst of some of the chaos. So I'm still using my planner to keep myself together, and it's an exciting time. These are the best of times, these are the worst of times. But and another project that's coming out is going to be released, I think, in digital form. Andrea and I are involved in a project called Joy 365. It is a collaboration of 365 authors who have committed to join the project to write about joy. So for 365 days of the year, it's a devotional. You can get positive affirmations and encouragement to maintain joy. There is a devotional, and then there's a journal. With the journal has the affirmations in it and a space to write your thoughts. And if you want to purchase the copies from either one of us, just reach out to us and we will make sure you get in your hand. I am super excited about this project. The authors come from all walks of life, all around the globe. So this is going to be an international bestseller. And to have our names associated with it, I'm completely overwhelmed about this because I never thought that would be something that would be associated with me, to be an author, a co-author, to be in the national bestseller, and then, to possibly get my book published by the end of this year. My first little romantic fiction novel. Wow! Woo! From the mines of Victoria. So this year, I felt different about 2024. And you know how you would like to coin our little phrases about 2024. Well, truly, it is more in 2024, and I'm just here for it. I'm loving what God is doing in my life, professionally and personally. I just feel good, really do.
That's good. That's good. You all have such big smiles on your faces. Really, a lot of times when we talk about what we have to do, it's about what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big difference when you talk about what you want
to do, and what you get to do, and just to be excited about something on the horizon, something new, maybe something that you haven't had the opportunity to do before.
Yep.
Just expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Just the expectation and anticipation that I see on you two is just, it's fun. It's fun.
Good. It's all joy for me. That's the word.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And that's the thing that I'm realizing, this is a lot of work because I am now writing weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I am spending more time weekly. I am having to do more time management, which I've never really been good at. But I am having
till now.
I have to be now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You know what? I found this quote. It said, the more I write, the more I lean into the person I was called to be.
Wow.
And that just hit me because I was like, you know what? I always thought of writing as a guilty pleasure. I always thought of, I can't do this because I have to focus on this. You know what? This is my happy space.
Right.
This is my peace. And this is what I do best. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to have fun. And I'll work with my schedule and do what I need to do. So,
that's good.
Find your happy space.
Yes.
Find your happy space. And then don't run away from it. Spend some time there.
Right.
Find it. Don't move beyond it.
Yeah.
So quickly.
It's work, but it's so worth it.
It is.
But when you're in that space, it's not work.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't feel like work.
No.
I think about when I had my theater company, when I was still back in DC, and I would go to work every day, and I would leave work and I would go to the theater. Let's say I got off at 5, I'd be at the theater by 6:30 and stay until we finished rehearsing at 10.
Wow.
Go across the street, listen to a little jazz,
There you go.
home. And never got tired. I did not get tired, and I didn't get tired, and not realizing it then. But I was tapping into my happy place.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I enjoyed theater. I enjoyed seeing the characters come to life. I enjoyed the whole process of it.
Yeah.
And because I did, it never felt like work.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
It never felt like work. I want to share something that doesn't have anything to do with me. But I
Okay.
shared it with Ruth this afternoon. There was a family that went to church with us, and the Schultz family. They are, to say, I can't even say they are musically inclined. They are music geniuses. That's what they are. And the son plays the keyboard, the daughter plays the drum, father plays the guitar. I mean, they're just aficionados.
And then there's mom.
And
She just holds the family together.
Mom is holding everything.
She must be the momager.
Mom is holding it down. But they are, I've never met people who are so gifted and just not puffed up at all. Just they just are who they are. But I don't know how old the son is now. I want to say he's maybe 17, 18.
Yeah, that's what I was
He's
saying.
got to be. He's got to be now. Yeah.
About that age. And anybody who watches Law and Order, and all of us, if we haven't seen an episode, you've seen a commercial.
Yeah.
It's been on the air. But Captain Benson is
Olivia
my
Benson.
favorite characters. She had her 60th birthday recently in New York. And Harry Connick Jr. was supposed to play at her birthday party. And he was not able to make it. And they asked if he could suggest someone. And he suggested Schultz. The son. And I was looking at the picture of him in his white getup, and he was sitting behind the white piano, And I thought, it just doesn't get any better when you simply do what you do.
Yeah.
To the best of your ability. Be passionate about what you do.
Right.
And the blessings just drop.
Yeah.
God just blesses you just because.
Amen.
Just because you're obedient, because you're kind, because you follow him, whatever all of those reasons happen to be. And I was so excited for him, and to see all the things that he's been able to accomplish, and all of the great musicians and everything that he has worked with, and how they are so in awe of him.
He is a talented young man. That is a talented young man.
Young. He's so young and talented.
Yeah.
And I just want to and this actually can close us out if you guys are good with that. But I just wanted to leave us with the fact that all of us have something. We all have some kind of gift, some kind of talent. We may not even realize what it is. We may not even know that I have a passion to paint, or that I have a passion to write, or that I have a passion to sell jewelry, or I have whatever that passion happens to be. If we are getting joy from it, monetary joy will follow. Yeah. That kind of currency will follow.
Right.
But when your currency is joy, and when your currency is the passion to just do what you do, and do it in excellence, and do it with the spirit of a finisher, other joys will find you.
Amen. Amen.
They will just find you, and you will be so happy. We would just be happy. There's a little piece I had a long time ago. It says, we spend our lives looking for happiness, and it seems so hard to find because we think it's a person, a place, or a thing, but it's really a state of mind.
Amen. Amen.
I love it.
Let's keep that state of mind.
Yeah.
And watch what God will do.
Amen.
Because I think we're going to embark on some things that will just make us sit up and take notice of the fact that it was beyond anything I could ever ask or think.
Amen.
All in balance, and it's all in its place. It's exactly where it needs to be, exactly where it's supposed to be. And these smiles will not be the last time you see them.
Nope.
That's it.
Now we can pass the plate.
Pass the plate to you, okay?
Pass the plate.
And I'm gonna leave it like this.
Yes.
I already got my bookmarks for my book, and it says, the joy of the Lord is my strength.
It.
The joy of the Lord is my strength.
That's it. So that's it for us tonight. And we have learned something here on Authors Up. If we didn't learn it at any other place and in any other space, you got to know how to shift.
Yeah.
And when you know how to shift and make that turn and change when you need to change, God will always give you what you need. He will
Amen.
always give you what you need. He is faithful like that. So we're
Yeah.
glad that we could be with you tonight in this capacity, which was a little different than what we originally planned. But for those of you who've been with us before, hey, you're used to it by now.
Right?
And we thank you for hanging in with us. We thank you for joining us, because we say it all the time. Before I go to that, though, Ruth, we still never end the show without telling people where to find us.
That is true, and I will share that in a minute. I did want to remind you, because we put it on the template and we didn't hit it. We wanted to keep one of our former authors in prayer,
Yes.
Angel Fox.
Yes. Yes.
So she's got some challenges, but we do know God is God
Amen.
above all.
Absolutely.
Amen.
All right. To business. You can find us on YouTube, your favorite podcasts. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. You just look for Authors Up Show. Please follow us. Please like us. Please comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, if you want to be a guest on our show, if you have any questions at all, email us at authorsup@gmail.com. We do a replay of the show on Saturday, most Saturdays. But we also, again, we do upload midweek to YouTube, and you can download us on your favorite podcast platform.
Yes.
Right. Victoria, do you have any final words to say?
Nope. Just actually, no. Just no.
No? Okay.
All righty then.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
Oh,
And these conversations are simply the best to me. And I love you, y'all. I call y'all my bronze girls. I just love you, bronze girls.
We love you too, Queen Victoria. And we're glad to be able to share our Sunday evenings with you and with all of those who join us right here on Facebook and in other places on YouTube and all those other places that Ruth mentioned. And we're just glad that you are part of our family on Sunday evening. So have a great week, everybody. Do something exciting for yourself, and that could be just getting a nap after church.
I know, right?
Whatever it is that makes you feel good, be sure that you bask in that a little bit this week, and come on back next Sunday and be here with us at 7 p.m. for another edition of Authors Up, because you never know what's going to happen when you join Authors Up at 7 p.m. Sunday evenings. So God bless all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you next
everybody
at 7 p.m. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Noelle.